One possible
could be shut down for security reasons.
Visual Voices, a new and unusual look at people shaping our culture and our world.
CNN, NBC, war in the middle.
Bush said, and I quote, "Do not destroy oil wells."
The killing was everywhere. They took me to a temple where they converted a temple into a killing place.
When you begin to realize that you're not a human being having a spiritual experience, but that it's the other way around, that you're a spiritual being having a human experience.
The Human Rights Watch Film Festival gives voice to independent filmmakers with a message of social justice. Here, Bonnie Greenbold takes us behind the scenes with a survivor of the Khmer Rouge.
The Flute Player tells the story of how music helped a young boy survive the killing fields of Cambodia and a man find his own salvation and restore hope and dignity to his people. I'm here with Jocelyn Glatzer, a documentary filmmaker who is the creator of a new film called The Flute Player. Jocelyn, how did you arrive at the idea of creating the film, The Flute Player?
The idea came to me actually through the main character of the film. His name's Arun Choranpond, and I met him originally in 1986. I was in high school, and I heard him speak about his experiences during the Khmer Rouge time, and I heard his unbelievable story about how he survived 4 years of the killing fields, and it really just moved me, and I heard him play his flute, and it never left my mind.
Arun, can you set the stage for us for the Khmer Rouge military coup?
I was a little boy of the age about 11 or so. I was playing in the front of the junior high school where I used to hang around and play games, and traditional Khmer games, Cambodian games, and all of a sudden everybody like jumping up and say, "Oh, the Khmer Rouge are taking over." And I saw tanks and trucks that carried all the soldiers, Khmer Rouge soldiers with their black clothing, and I saw some of them probably a little older than I was, some of them, and they were. All I noticed was that they have very frowned faces, like they were not happy. One group of them came, like about 7 of them came, stopped a car and truck and came down and trying to check us up, check us out. Many of us. One of the older boy, about probably 15, he stopped a motorcycle and he said, "Give me a motorbike." The guy said, "No, why you borrow my bike?" And then he hit the guy in the head with the bag of the guns, and the guy fall down, and he took the bike. And the guy fall down, and I didn't think he died. So that was the first time I really see a person did that to other human being, and I ran off to my family's home, and I didn't know. I told my family about it. They said, "Oh, the Khmer Rouge are good guys. They come and liberate us." It wasn't true. The next following days and weeks, they were killing all over the place, and that took many people off guard. And the killing was everywhere. They took me to a temple where they converted a temple into a killing place. That's where I was forced to live with about 700 kids, and were forced to see their execution and killing like 3 or 4 or 5 times a day in that temple. So I lived there for about 2 years, 2.5 years out of 4 years total of Khmer Rouge regime. Probably 60 kids survived from there.
How did your music aid in your survival?
I in that temple, that I was forced to live with those kids, and we were not prisoners, but we were forced to live there and to die there, to work like 24 hours a day, and many times were no foods. And all of a sudden, and the killing is really, the Khmer Rouge forced us to watch the killing too. If we show an emotion in our face, like saying that we care about the victims that they killed, they would kill us in the spot. They've done that for many kids. I saw them. And just a starvation is really killing you. I mean, half of the kids were not killed, were starved to death also. They, all of a sudden, the Khmer Rouge said, we're going to start a music class. And I knew, I raised my hand very quickly. I didn't know any music before that, and I even forgotten that I had any family, you know, had music or art background. I hadn't forgotten that. So I sort of raised my hands, you know, sort of out of my intuition, you know, like naturally I just say, do that, and I say, oops, what am I gonna, you know, what am I getting to here? So, but my raising hand was really a, you know, was right that they chose. I said I want to play music instead of dance. If I joined dancing, I would have been dead because it was very physical. And some kids that joined the dancing group, they died while dancing. And so the Khmer Rouge has no way to have us dancing or playing music without you know, without dying. So they give us some more foods, you know.
Arn, can you tell me a little bit more about the work that you're doing to bring the traditional Cambodian music back to the Cambodian people?
I try to find the masters now. I mean, when I went back to Cambodia, this woman that I found, she's probably the last opera singer in Cambodia now. And sorry, I found her 2 years ago, and she's in the project now to call Cambodian Master Performer Programs that I have started 2 years ago. And then I found many other, like the flute players. You know, he's the old man, the best flute. He was the #1 flute player before the Khmer Rouge, and he was also a teacher of School of Fine Art. Also lived on a sewage with his whole family, and you know, about to die. And when I get them, we emphasize on performing. You get them to teach, especially teaching young people before they're gone. You know, they carry the whole thing, the whole, you know, culture with them. They are national treasure, and no way to treat them like that. You know, and very few left. And we emphasize on also on for them to perform again. You know, so they can be happy. I give them stipend. You know, I give them stipend, and you have to talk about economic. I mean, for them, and also. Record them and archives them. I want young people, not only Cambodia, around the world, especially children, to sing, to dance, to make relationship, you know, to love, not to hate.
If teachers are interested in using the film in their classrooms, how can they get a hold of a copy of it?
There's a few different ways to see the film. We're broadcasting on PBS next month on the POV series on July 22nd. And PBS is doing a beautiful website around the film, actually, and they've created a study guide to go with the film. We have a website. It's www.thefluteplayer.net, so you could either see our website or see the PBS POV website for any information about how to get a copy of the film and get a study guide. We're very interested in getting it into high schools and universities and community groups.
This excerpt from Mitchell Rabin's show, A Better World, featuring author Wayne Dyer, demonstrates once more that television can make a positive difference.
I've really come to an understanding that every conflict you have in your life, whatever it might be, with your children, with whomever you're involved in a relationship with strangers, people on the freeway, whatever, it's never between you and them. It's never between you and them. It's always between you and God.